First practices, great energy. Guys were excited to get out there. I can't remember really any event many times where you had to coach up the excitement and passion. That was all there. These guys have worked hard. We're excited about practice one. So, you know, always going to be far from perfect, but each side had its moments and, made plays, and that's what you want. I love being the head coach in those times, right? Because the assistants, they want every play to be perfect. And so, they win half, they lose half the time. I get to win all the time because I just choose the side that wins on that play. But no, it's good having that give and take. And I felt that's what we had. And, just welcome to the South, right? For me in particular, just practice and a little bit warmer than the rest of the summer. It hit us here with practice one. So guys grinded through it. I thought actually they kept getting stronger as the day went on, which is what you want to see. And, they kept their spirits high through the very last rep.
Kalen, for a guy like Ryan Williams, what was going to be key for him through these preseason practices to develop so he can be ready to play at this level?
Yeah, consistently just in this trajectory on up. I don't need him day one. I mean, you want every play to be amazing, explosive, but you just want him lining up right, doing the fundamental things, making the easy plays. And then, because of his ability, the big ones will come. So, when your route's on air, run a good route, catch the ball, accelerate out with good ball security, and you find those consistent fundamentals, and, you stack days, and those plays that we know he'll be capable of making will happen.
What have you seen from Caden and his body?
So, go ahead.
What have you seen from Caden Proctor and his body since he's gotten back, and also just how he's been welcomed back by guys like Elijah?
I don't have a huge, understanding of what he was a year ago other than watching on film, but it feels like he's in really good shape and lean. When you ask people who would have an understanding, Coach Ballou and so forth, it'd be nothing but positive about the progress he's made. Strength and explosive numbers, I know, are up. That's facts. That's real. And then also just the way his body looks, leaner. I mean, he's just so dense and just got so much mass. He's going to be big no matter what. So loved his demeanor out there. It's good to have him back. Good to have him here. So.
You touched on the conditioning efforts. Hype that the staff has definitely gotten now is 85 degrees at 10 a.m. Will we see you in a sweatsuit like Rick Ballmer?
No, you won't see me like that. That's his thing. I'll just let him do that. I think the strength staff, Coach Ballou, he's been doing this here now. He knows what it takes, what that looks like throughout the summer, even going back into the winter. It's getting football shape, and you try to replicate it as best you can. And I know he's all over it, but there's still something about putting pads on, having that helmet on. Some guys wear a mask and, just breathing through that even, having a mouthpiece in, all that good stuff. So these guys, they had a good day out there today.
You have three new transfers and spring transfers from the secondary. What did you see from them? What have you seen from them so far?
Yeah, I always like to see the film before I make too many comments on missed assignments or anything like that. One or two plays I think might be, a little bit more that happened because of maybe those guys being in there and just not in sync completely, but that's expected. Practice one, new faces out there on the field, but I love their energy. I love their attitude. They give great effort. They've really meshed well with the whole team. I think there's a ton of respect by their teammates, and that's what you want. A lot of that starts with just their character and the work ethic that follows along. And they got ability. Now it just matters getting those reps so they can be confident in themselves, and others can be confident in knowing and believing that they're going to be in the right spot. And that's the direction I think they're headed.
Just overall, a lot of fans, a lot of players are trying to learn your way. First day of practice, do you not make a knee-jerk reaction on what you saw? Were you pleased? You can summarize it of what you saw. Do you not, if there was a bad day, go drastic to say?
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to be real. And that's what I tell our guys. And, I'm going to tell our team on a Sunday, after a game, what it was, it's tell the truth Sunday, and we got to be real. And then, when it comes to games, everyone can see it. If you got to be better or if it was a great day, I think it's usually pretty obvious. And when it comes to practice, we can't just gloss over things ever. We gotta understand where we're at, and we have relationships with each other so we can be real and hold each other accountable. And today, I thought it was a great practice. Anytime, and every day there's things to learn from. You learn from the good, you learn from the bad, you learn from others' mistakes and your own. And so a lot of that happened today, the good, the bad, the mistakes. And we get to go watch film. We get to talk about it here, team meeting, and it was a positive day. I really feel like we've made the most of every practice since I've been here going back to this spring. Some are obviously going to be better than others.
Coach, you talked about both sides got wins today, but even if with it being the first practice, would you say that either the offense or the defense is ahead of the other at this point? And also, what happened to your leg?
Yeah, there's our custodians do a really good job mopping the floors, and I didn't realize it. So, yeah, but that's not on them. That's on me. As far as who won or who's ahead, I guess I don't really feel like there's one side of the ball. I think there's position groups within that are continuing to rise up, and I think it's pretty balanced across the board, with the whole team.
Coach, how beneficial was it to have a full spring with Jalen Morrow as you now kind of have a baseline of communication and understanding of your game football?
How good is it? What to?
Just to have communication that you already have established.
Yeah. I just try to most racks when I talk about rack, it's whatever 4 or 5 play sequence or a drive. In practice, I just love following up with him, and he just takes all the coaching, and he knows when I coach him up, that's my job. We talk about teaching and critiquing and demanding excellence and the best, and he takes that and every play looking for it, and working to be better. I thought he had a really solid day all around, and I know he's far from reaching what he'll be even come next week, much less the first game.
Is there any difficulty so far getting guys used to morning practice versus being used to the afternoon?
Yeah, I think certainly. I think that a few guys, even though we really pushed it hard, I think they underestimate the just the fuel they got to get in their bodies. And so, which leads to cramping and things like that. So they'll learn from it. That's part of this process. That's part of, we talk about them grinding every day, refining everything, whether it's note-taking in the meetings to their craft and the technique they have to, man, I got to eat more. I got to get more sleep, got to drink more, hydrate and all that. So I think there's a couple of guys, when you go really follow up on, the cramping is like, what'd you eat? And they didn't eat enough, and so that will become a positive because throughout the week, we don't want that cumulative fatigue that can happen. And by practicing and the schedule that we'll be on, I just feel like we got it down to where these guys will understand it and be able to adjust accordingly and take advantage of it, not fall fatigued to it.
How can the experience of Jayshon Jones help that corner with some of you at that spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's taking some snaps at the college football level, and so we need him out there. I think there's a confidence about him just because of that. We need in our program always, but also in that position room. And all of those guys. The cool thing is, I think they all respect each other and just pushing each other, learning every single day. And Coach Mo's doing an awesome job.
How important is ball camp going to be for the offensive line, just meshing with Parker back, obviously with King back?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, that's where it all starts. I think your team is always going to be maximized, based on what your offensive line can do, because it sets the tempo and it forces the defensive line and linebackers to really do a good job of fitting their gaps and run. And you can protect the quarterback to where he can go through his reads and receivers, having time to go through their routes. Defensive backs now having to make plays because the protection's there. So these guys up front, really a couple of them haven't been there throughout the spring, but like you said, Parker now back in there, Caden here, Pritchett still, took a lot of reps. So he had a nice day. Thought Wilkin did a nice job, so a lot of mixing and matching. especially at the tackle position, I guess. The interior three was pretty consistent, but their reps are going to be really critical for our success, and they're them gelling.
On the other side, I've always thought the game kind of moving. We did see him in the spring and deep back full. What do you see from him?
Yeah, he was almost ready right at the end of spring ball, and so he's had a good summer and excited about what he'll bring to the table for us. So he was right on the verge. If we'd had one more week of spring ball, we would have probably made sure he was out there at that time.
Hey, Coach, from a speaker standpoint, will you bring in speakers throughout camp to talk to your team?
Mhm.
You know some of those names?
I do. The team doesn't know those names, so I can't. But we will certainly have some guys. I think first year especially, it's important to me to try to lay that culture, just make sure it's all right where we want it. And so I eat up a lot of that time through different things that I've either done in the past or, again, just starting over from scratch with us all being new together. The one thing our guys are, they're still finishing summer school here these next couple of days. And so they have a big block that I even just blocked off here this afternoon. We did the same thing yesterday. And then Friday, there's some finals that are getting taken. It's not the whole team, but it's a pretty good chunk. And graduation here at the end of the week as well for a few guys. So excited about that. But they're finishing summer school. There will be a couple weeks where they don't have anything but football, but then they do start, fall semester, 21st. So we'll bring some speakers in. I think it's great to hear from, people who have been through it, experienced great things. That's fun. That's been a tradition here. I know something the guys really enjoy. We'll keep growing that. But this year, I just also wanted to dial it down a little bit and make sure, the right messaging was continually coming from me and our staff.
When you're out of practice, you made a concerted effort to visit with every group. I'm interested, Coach David used to stick with feedback. I'm interested what your kind of philosophy is when you're out of practice.
Yeah, I guess if I'm going to expect that I have a relationship with all of them, I need to really be able to get around, and they need to see me and that I care about their progress and can coach them up and sitting in the meeting rooms with them, knowing exactly the details that they're being taught so I can emphasize it to them as well. And when they come up and see me in my office, it's not just general conversations, and it's we can pop on the film and really talk through because I know what's being taught. I know, the reps, and we have that relationship. And that's to me part of, what Phil is a strength of myself and the staff is us all working together. Us all the players just feeling like, man, coach isn't just caring about this position or that side of the ball.
I know this is kind of a big serious question, but you have the straw hat. I'm picking up on that. I asked him immediately as Malachi. He said you were behind him. He had no idea. Do you have a thing that you can do to stand out in practice, or do you just kind of?
I don't. This is what you get right here. So with a broken shin. So yeah. Yeah. They had a good spring. This is again, they got some of the install again and got some of the technical work in the summer, but now here they get it another time around. And so, that growth, you always say growth from year 1 to year 2. To me, it's from the spring to the fall. It's the second really full install and time that they've kind of heard the lingo, the language, how they're being taught, the reps. And so what we need to see from them is just taking that next big step. And then much like the question with Ryan, also being a younger guy on offense, you just want to see that consistency. Consistency builds trust, and that trust is just going to be something that whether old or young, we all got to gel, and whoever's on the football field, there's got to be that trust within so they can have confidence and go out there and make plays.